How's it going, guys? Peshcats here, today with Neil once again, and we're going to be taking a look at this week's Capo card of the day review stuff thingies. So we've got, I think it was 10 or 11 Dal Segno cards and 6 Capo cards. So as we've done
Yeah.
for the last couple weeks, we're going to be starting with the Dal Segno cards. So the first one we have up on the screen right now is this Double R Himari. So she is a runner. She can run a center, and she also has the ability when you attack with her, if you have one or less other characters, you may mill the top card of your deck, and if it's a level 0, you can put it on the stage in an empty slot in your back row. So we've seen this ability before on cards like the Momo 00, Kyokai no Rine, has a Clock Suicider 00, and also a Roma. I think that's all the times that we've seen this ability before. This is the first time we've ever seen it on a runner, which I think is quite interesting. Unfortunately, it can only run a center, though, which limits this card's options as far as surviving. So, Neil, what do you think about the card?
I think it's pretty good. You know, getting to attack and then get a free 0 onto the board, and then, you know, getting the potential to live another turn to get another free 0. So, I think it's pretty good.
I think my overall thoughts on this card is that depending on how much good level 0 top check that you have, like if you have like a top check like support character, that would be the ideal card to partner up with this, because that means you can check your top for a 0, and then if it's there, you just keep it there, and then you just attack, and then you mill, you get the 0, and you put it on the back row.
Wasn't there a 0 earlier in the week that let you check the top 2 cards and put them back in any order?
I think so, actually, so that'd be pretty good.
Yeah, I thought there was a 0 like that. A 0 or 1, I can't remember, but this card's pretty good. I don't know. With so many like top check abilities that are like coming out now, I think this card's becoming much more. This effect is becoming much more relevant, where you just get a free level 0 when you attack. It's you know, pretty insane. You get the mill a card, and then if it's a 0, then you get a free character
Yeah.
for no reason.
Uh, yeah, I think this card's fine. Personally, I don't think it's worth the double R slot, but I think the card's okay.
I actually do agree with you on that. I don't think it's worth the LR slot either.
Yeah, probably like a rare
Yeah.
would be fine. Okay, so next we have the hat. I don't know the story behind the hat. Maybe it's alive or something, or something or something. So
I
this
don't know
is
either.
this is kind of like the card from Clanad, the one that they got in the power up set. So when this is reversed in battle, you can pay 1, clock the top card of your deck, and then send this to memory, which is kind of relevant for other cards. And if you do, search your deck for up to 1 hat character and add it to your hand. So this can only pretty much search for Himaris or, I don't know, more copies of this card. There's some decent enough Himaris that you could be searching with this, but so far I don't think we've seen too many, like, I don't think we've seen like a level 1 climax combo sort of card.
I thought there's a 0/0 that goes to memory and searches for Kazana Island. Like
Yes, that was the Ame, but that's not a that one's
that's not a plot.
pay
That's not
1
a
discard 1, and
yeah.
this one's pay 1 search, pay 1 clock 1 search 1.
I think people are just gonna run that over this, even though this like it's nice that maybe people run like 2 of this because it still searches for Himari, right? I think that's her name. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
this card is only as good as the targets that it's
Himari.
able to search. So
Yep.
we'll need to see like something really worth using before we can really judge this card. With Clanad, like the card that you're looking for most of the time when you play their version is you're mostly either going to get the 107k beat stick or the 1055 or well 55 climax combo. And both of those are pretty much like staple in that deck, but because this card is so limited to searching for hat characters only, it's much more limited.
I think yellow gets 1 more double R, so if it's a Himari, then this card might actually be really relevant if it's like a on reverse combo or something.
Yeah, we'll have to see though. Okay, moving on to the 2/2. Some people were calling this card like not so great. Personally, I think this card's okay because the downside is, assuming you're like playing this kind of deck, the downside is almost never going to come into play. So this is basically a 2/2 10/5 with Hand Encore, and the downside is if you play it and you don't have the 0/0 hat, the previous card, if you don't have that in your memory, your opponent gets to shuffle one card from the waiting room into their deck. So basically they get a climax back into their deck.
Mm-hmm.
But like, assuming you're playing a deck that's like designed around, I don't know, something similar to Himari Waifu in the first place, you're obviously gonna play the hat, and you're obviously gonna be throwing it into memory ASAP. So this condition or this downside really isn't gonna be too much of a problem, and this ends up being a 2/2 10/5 with Hand Encore, which is pretty strong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I don't see people playing this in the actual deck.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But if you play some sort of like waifu-ish variant, this is a very serviceable like replacement for an early drop because it
Yes.
basically performs the same role.
Yes, it does. But besides that, I think this card's pretty trash if it's not in a waifu deck.
Yeah, I think it's fine as it is. I mean, like I played like 2/2 now in set 1 CG, and that was like a 9K, and this is a 10/5, so
Oh, I remember that. I remember that.
pretty silly. But
You're pretty hyped up on that too.
yeah, the card was pretty good at the time, in my opinion. And then TP
Alright.
Grin happened.
Yep. Arbane.
Oh wait, this is the card. Wait, this is the card.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh,
I
this
was
is the
like,
one.
Whoa.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm stupid. Okay, so when you play this, look at the top two cards and then put them back in any order. So this can help you with the 0/0 runner, so that you can confirm your top check for level 0. It's also a Himari, so you know Himari waifu, Lamau. And up to twice per turn when you play another Kizana Island character, this gets 1K. This is a less relevant effect. Sometimes you'll just get to whack over something, but it's kind of whatever. You mostly play this for the top 2 check, absolutely.
Yeah, like this card's pretty good because of the top 2 check, and then if you play this and then you play the 0/0 double R that runs away, then oh hey look, I get another free 0 on the board and I get the Mila card for free.
You can also use this to help out the level 3 restander that requires you to mill a trigger.
Oh, I totally forgot about that. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty good card. And then you if you like play this card and you don't hit anything and you're level 3 for that restander, oh hey look, I'll brainstorm and play Playing in the Creek.
Yeah.
Now what am I gonna hit?
you absolutely play this card for the top check ability. The second ability is just kind of like extra stuff. Like maybe you'll get to be 3/5 and kill something, but you're mostly playing this for the top 2 check, and there's definitely abilities that make that ability relevant.
Should have been an uncommon. This is not. This is like way too good for a common.
It's fine.
I don't know.
There are
how much top check?
There are some very good commons, and this is one of them. Well, this is like a fairly decent common, like maybe like a 2 of.
Okay, I can take that. I was thinking it's like an uncommon because of the top 2 check. I don't think that's too common to see on commons.
All right. Okay, so next up we have moving on to green stuff. We have Hazuki. So she's a clock suicider, and you can pay 1 to give a Kazana Island character plus 15. This is also a student council character, so you could potentially put this into the Capo student council trait-based deck, and that's pretty important.
Yeah, that's kind of like all I was planning on doing with these green cards, putting them in student council because her cause I guess this specific card I think just works well with student council with how the deck functions. You get a suicider, and then you can just kill stuff at level 0. You can kill even more stuff at level 0 that you can't usually get over with your 4K beater. So,
I think the biggest part of this card is that it has that second ability that really doesn't even need to do anything. It just makes the card 1K. But the second ability is actually sometimes quite useful. You can use it to like pay out stock if you trigger climax early, and potentially just beat over stuff. So you can get some pretty good value out of this card, and it also interacts with the cards that are coming up, which is another reason to run the card.
I think this card's great. This one.
All right, so next up we have this 3/2 Hazuki. This is a card I was talking to Neil about for a bit because he thought it wasn't so good, and I thought it was pretty good. Of course, with context, which is the card directly after this. So this card has Recollection if you have 3 or more memory. It gets plus 15 and anti-backup, but they can still play events. So this avoids Um, Anti-change counters. That's probably the most important part because this card is going to be coming into play early. Very, very early, potentially. And second ability is just heal. So this card actually has potential to come into play at level 1 with this card, which we can just talk about both of them at the same time, I guess. So this is a 2-1 Hazuki. If your opponent has 3 or less climaxes in the waiting room, you can play this at level 1. That's fairly common. If you get hit to level 1 on like turn 2 and you just like drop this, it's like, okay, I have a 2-1, or I have a 1-1-7k now. And her second effect is when she's front attacked, you can pay 2, take the 0/0 Clock Suicider from your waiting room and send it to memory, which isn't too hard. It's a card that you're going to be playing in a student council or like Hazuki center deck like 99% of the time because the card's just good. And you also send this card to memory. So that already fulfills 2 out of your 3 memory condition for this to get the power and the anti-backup. So when you pay the cost, you play the 3/2 healer from your hand, and it becomes the new defending character. This is very powerful in my opinion. You're potentially able to get a 3/3 healer, I guess, onto the field at level 1, and you can heal at level 1. So I think that's very, very strong. And the fact that this card has protection for itself against anti-change is also very strong.
My problem, so my personal opinion with that card was like, and everyone was like attacking me on this on foreign, and I thought that the card is kind of too highly costed. Even though you get 2 in memory, you have so much free memory that you get in student council at 0. Like you send literally half the 3/4 of your zeros to memory in student council right now. And with these new cards, that doesn't change, except for maybe you take out the blue runner and you play like the Charles that sends to back row. Like my opinion on this card requires that it probably just needs some testing. I won't know how good this card is until I test it out. Obviously, you think this card's pretty amazing because it can send 2 cards to memory and heal at level 1, but the Capo does amazing things.
My thing about this is like, okay, so the cost is essentially you pay 3 stock. You're not actually discarding. You're not really discarding cards. You lose the 2/1, but you're playing the 3/2 from hand. So you end up netting -1 cards, quote unquote, because you sent the 2/1 to memory. But the Clock Suicider is coming from waiting room anyway, so you're not even losing any card advantage there. And you're paying 3 stock to play a level 3, 2 levels early, which also heals and has self-protection. And as far as the argument about like, oh, you already have like zeros that send themselves to memory, in my opinion, that shouldn't even be like a relevant argument, because having more than 3 cards in memory is not a problem. Like you can very easily send like a bunch of zeros to memory, and then you're sending this level 2 and another card to memory. Like I don't see the downside here, I guess. That just means you have more cards in memory, which ends up being better in the long run.
I see what you're saying. Like I said, I think I talked to multiple people about this, not just you, and a couple people were telling me they didn't like the card, and a couple people were telling me that the card's amazing.
I think this card's amazing. Or well, okay,
yeah.
okay, well, not like it's not game-breakingly amazing, but it's very strong.
Pretty good. It's I think I need to test this out before I could give my full opinion on it. But from my first glance, I thought the cost was really high. I think that's also because my reading of the card wasn't that well, and then Rex pretty fucked up the translation when he did it. So
Rip Rex.
Rip Rex.
Also, I want to bring up one last thing before we move on to the next card. I think I remember on the post you said I don't see people playing the changer, but you see people playing the 3/2. I think it's actually the opposite. I don't think you play the 3/2 at all without the changer. That's my opinion. That's how strong I think the overall package is.
Yeah, I can see that, definitely. I was only saying that because the effect is you can't be countered, so that means like if you really need to do damage, and then you could play it, and then your opponent can't do, anti-damage counter or rest counter or something.
Well, they can do that because they can still play events. They can't play backups.
Oh no, is it backup? Because when it was translated, it was counter.
Rex goes by different terminology when he does card of the day. This one that's on the screen right now is the card of the day translation that I posted to International because he didn't post it there. So
Okay, okay,
as
okay.
you can see here, the card's effect is during this card's battle, your opponent cannot play backup from their hand, but they can still play events.
So that definitely changes my view on it because I thought it was like all counters when
Oh,
I.
no.
Yeah,
I still think the card is very strong though.
yeah, yeah. No, that changes my view on it a little bit more because now I think you have to play that 2-1 if you play the 3-2, right? So if you don't play the 2-1, you're not playing the 3-2, obviously.
That's my opinion. Yes, I
Yeah,
believe that you do not play the 3-2 without the 2-1.
yeah. I thought it was you could counter you could like not use anti damage and everything, but that changes my views on it. So
Okay,
let's continue.
then the card would be like actually stupid.
Busted. Yeah.
Okay, so next we have this 0-0 Hazuki. So she has two very nice abilities in one package. She's like actually, now that I like actually think about it, she's like kind of a Kotsky.
Yeah.
Kind of. She's like actually kind of a Kotsky. So so on play you can discard one card, take a Kazana Island character in your clock, add it to your hand, and then clock the top card of your deck. And then you can pay one, send her to memory to look at up to 4 cards from the top of your deck and add up to one Kazana Island character among them to your hand. Send the rest to the waiting room. The main problem with this card is that, or not so much a problem. I'm not gonna call it a problem. I shouldn't say that. The main, I guess, crux about this card, compared to the other Hazukis, is that those are student council characters that you could potentially put into a student council deck with the Capo cards. This one,
You can't
because
do that with
both of
this.
its abilities are related to Kazan Island, you can't do that. That being said, this card has two very powerful utility effects. It has a free discard with hand filter, and then this card basically filters itself out while milling through your deck, up to 5 cards, because the first one is going to take 1 card off the top of your deck. So very strong card.
Yeah, I think this is a staple in the deck. At least like a 2 of, if not a 4 of. I can see like people playing 4 of with this card just because you're gonna discard a card, you're gonna add a Cosmic Island character from your hand, and then you're just gonna pay once in this memory to get another character.
I think maybe like 3's the right number. It depends on what other zeros you're playing in the deck though, which
Yeah,
we have yet to see everything yet. But as it stands right now, this is a very powerful utility card, and I could definitely see people playing this in pretty much every Dal Segno deck. There's really no reason not to.
why is this the uncommon? Why didn't they make this the double R? What?
Um, I think this could
I
be.
don't know.
I don't know about double R. I think this could be a rare.
This should definitely be a rare. It shouldn't be an uncommon. Like,
Yeah.
come on, Bushiroad, you're like fucking up all the rarities this
Hey
time.
man, that means this will be easier to get.
That's true. It's gonna be cheap though.
Okay, next up we have 3-2 EO. So when you have a Chuni, you just gotta give her all the effects that all the other Chunis in Weiss Schwarz has. So this is a very similar effect to Ronko. If you have 2 or more Kazana Island characters in memory, this gets 1k. On play, draw 2, discard 1, and then when you play the Pants Climax, you can pay 1 if this is in the front row. If you do, choose this card and another one of your Kazan Island characters, and this turn they both get 2500, and on reverse mill 3, deal X, where X is the number of climaxes you mill this way. Now, my first thought about this card, in comparison to like Ronko or Nautico or other cards with the similar ability, is this one you have to pay 1 for, which is kind of sucky. Whereas those other ones, it's just on attack and you do the thing. And this one you have to reverse as well. Granted, you are getting a pretty fat power buff. I think my main problem with this card is that... so you get this power buff, right? But you're not really doing anything with that power buff other than using it for this card. Like, if you could use it for, like, some sort of clock shoot or on reverse restand... I mean, like, I guess you could use it with the one where you mill a trigger to potentially restand.
That card's on reverse as well, I believe. It has to be on reverse. You have to mill a trigger to restand it.
Yeah. So, I think you're not able to get as much value out of this card compared to the other ones. If you don't have another reason to reverse your cards. I don't think that this alone is enough reason to play the combo, unless you have other on reverse abilities that have meaning for your endgame.
So my discussion on this card is this card strictly better than Ronko? And when
I don't think you can.
I think it is.
I don't think you can compare the two. There's like far too many things that are different about the two.
I guess.
Like based on they have completely different on play abilities. One of them has a cost, one of them doesn't. One of them has to reverse, one of them doesn't. I think the cards are just they have similar like type of effects because it's mill and then deal damage equal to the number of climaxes, but at the same time I think the effects are very very different, and
Uh,
the cards themselves should be evaluated a bit differently.
yeah, I think this card's actually just fine. I think this card's pretty good actually because if you get 2 copies of this out, Capo has a history of having really high costed stuff. Um, Charles is five stock. Himeno, you have to play with a 2/2 event in your deck, so like, and then you could get it out. Yeah, the Capo has kind of like a history of high costed stuff. I definitely see this card like just being played because you get to pay 2 and then you get to mill 12 cards.
Yeah.
That's better than a brainstorm. That's like
Yeah,
what?
I don't think you necessarily want that though. Sometimes you want it, sometimes you don't. I think the main difference between this and like cards like Ronco, specifically context to other cards in the Capo, such as Money Counter, and the fact that this has draw to discard one on play means that you're going to more
Probably
likely
draw that
to
money counter.
draw into your meaningful late game events, and that is what makes this card. That's what gives this card some value. I would also like to add that this is the first pants that DeCapo has access to outside of the $25 Platinum Days PR. So
After this
there's that.
release, actually the day before this came out, Platinum Days was $35. It dropped $10 because of this climax.
Dude, nice.
So yeah, like I still think, personally, it's gonna take testing, right? A lot of these cards are gonna take testing because we haven't seen effects like these, in these in ways or forms. We've seen them, in different forms on other cards, but only time will tell, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a common. um, this is a common. This is free memory. When this dies, reveal top card. If it's Kazana, send this to memory. This is good. You play it. If you need memory, you play it. If not, you maybe still play it.
You still play it because it's free memory and it's pretty good.
It's pretty free.
It's pretty free. Oh, you know what's better? You play this and then that 0/0 and then the 0/0 that mills. So
Oh no.
what you're gonna do? Yeah, you have to play the
Oh
top
no.
the top check 2. So you're gonna top check 2. You're gonna see which one's the 0. You're
Oh
gonna put the
no.
0 on the bottom. You're gonna play this. You're gonna reverse
No,
it.
no, 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 no.
Send it to memory.
No, no,
Attack.
no.
And then mill. And you're
No.
gonna play a free 0.
You know what's the worst part about that? You know what the worst part
What?
about that is? You can actually do that by having 3 characters on your board. So if you actually played all 3, because this one sends itself to memory, so then
That's
you
why I
have
said
one or
it.
less other characters, and then you actually get the effect to work.
That's why I said it.
All right, we're moving on. Okay, this is getting stupid. All right, so now we have the Capo. Oh god, this video is going on for so long, probably.
I'm sorry.
All right.
You know.
Yeah, alright. So next we have Mikoto. This is Silica, but at the same time it's not Silica because Silica hits the entire set. This does not hit the entire set. And
What, it hits like one of the worst decks which needed this.
yeah, but unless that deck gets some like major buffs.
What it just did this today.
No, I mean like it needs like major buffs. It needs to be able to like stand alone as like a really like good deck.
We're gonna find out in a week.
Yeah,
No,
like
aren't we?
like this is just a really high value card in what is currently a not so high value deck.
That newspaper deck focuses on building stock, and then goal is to get out 2, sometimes 3 Charles if you could really do it, and then pay 10 stock to point your opponent for 4 and end the game. Uh, what the Capo personally, in my opinion, needed was a discard outlet, because the only discard outlet the newspaper deck really had, well, for the newspaper deck at least, the newspaper outlet discard outlet was a pay 1 discarded climax salvage. Pay 1.
It's on an act though, right?
Yeah, it's an act, so it's okay, but at the same time, pay 1. You don't get it for free. I think free discard outlet is probably like the way every deck has what every most decks that are new since Nisekoi. I think Nisekoi started this trend. I don't know.
What, the on play
Um,
drop climax
yeah,
salvage?
on play drop climax salvage.
I don't know if Nisekoi
Uh,
necessarily started.
but
I'll have to go back and check later.
I think they started the trend of like they get the on play top check hand discard and all that stuff. They started the trend of
Okay,
sets getting one or the other.
I'm like 90% sure that that Nisekoi didn't start that, but
What set started that? You know?
not off the top of my head. But anyways,
Okay.
I think to sum up my evaluation of this card, the card is very good. It is a free filter. It is a level 0 suicider, and the real question is this card and other newspaper support going to be enough to buff the newspaper deck to a point where like it's playable,
Want to know something funny?
or
I
or
guarantee.
or
Oh, go ahead.
will this card being a double R be kind of a waste because newspaper doesn't end up getting enough support to really like come out?
Yeah, that's a big question. We still have 13 cards in the Capo 3 era, in the Capo 3 area for the set. So, want to know something funny? I'm gonna tell you that this card's probably gonna be at most $10 because of the character.
Really?
At most. Yep, just because of the character.
Okay,
The character's,
I don't know anything about
uh,
the character. So
the character that's kind of loved the most, the two characters that are kind of loved, two or three characters are Himeno, Sara, and Rika, which is why they got the signs.
all I know is that I've never seen this character before these card of
She's in the
days.
anime.
So
She's in the anime and the game.
okay, so next up we have a 0-0. Global 500 for newspaper and love. Okay. On play mill 2. If either card is a climax, choose one of your characters, gets 1500 power for the turn.
Actually, I wanted to ask you something about this. How relevant is this effect in uh in a set like
What?
Mill 2 with climax play? What do you rate that effect at?
Well, depends what you mean. Uh, do you mean on mill 2 if you mill a climax gets a upside, or mill 2 if you mill a climax you get a downside? Because those are two very different things.
Upside. Like it's just for me, it's literally just on climax play Mill 2 because that's all I see it as. You know,
This
because
isn't. No, wait, this isn't on climax play mill 2. This is when you play this card mill 2.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, that changes a little bit. But yeah, where do you see this effect being at?
Um, it's a global 5. It sometimes buffs your stuff outside of being a global 5. It's not exactly exciting. Um,
Uh-huh.
this could have easily been just like on play give 15 to a
Uh,
newspaper or love character.
yeah,
This could have very easily just been that.
there's a 1/0 that does that in Capo. Actually gives 2k.
Well, I mean, like it could have literally just been like a Pucci Mikon type ability.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah,
Uh,
it's like it's a little bit of like unneeded spiciness that's gonna make this card less consistent.
um, just to let you know, the newspaper didn't really have any like power buffs until this card came out. They had a 1/0 that was always 6/5 and 7k if you played the promo Rika. And then all the other buffs were like assist 500 at the front or level support. This is the first of its kind that gives a global 500 in the newspaper. So, uh, I think people are gonna rate. I think this card's rated a little bit higher just because of what it does for the set. But you know,
Okay. I was gonna say something else and then I forgot.
oh, go ahead.
Okay, so the next one we have the rare Sumomo. So this is kind of like this is an Amagi type effect. Your other character in front row center gets anti-reverse, and when you play a climax, pay 1 to look at up to top 4 for a blue character. Show it to your opponent, add to your hand, send the rest to the waiting room. Now there's a really big problem with this card, and that is that its traits are garbage. And it only, well, actually no, two big problems. One is that its traits are garbage, and the second one is that it only hits blue.
That's fine. The blue part always is fine because you can play that mono Sarah and just shit on people.
Yeah, but then at the same time, like Sara has abilities that hit sports trait. Like
Yeah.
if you play alarm clock and you hit this, you cry.
Okay. I agree with you there, but I think people just gonna play like two copies of this card just because its the Magi effect is so powerful. You know, like I definitely see people playing two copies of this card just because of how powerful the effect can be of milling four for free. Pay one mill four, add a character. Oh, look at that. Last week I lost to Mike Chang because he got to do that every turn on my turn and his turn, and he milled like
That's
70 cards.
because Ellie is bullshit. So
Yes.
all right,
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
that card's just dumb. Like this card can't even touch Ellie. Like Ellie is like way up here, and this card's just kind of like here.
Well, I can't see your little cam thing, so I definitely
Oh
can't say
yeah,
that.
okay, yeah, but you get what I mean.
I get
Like
what you mean.
Ellie's like way up there, and Sumomo's like way down here, and then Amagi's like somewhere in the middle.
I I I still think Sumino will be played in Sara decks just because it's pay one. Look at top four.
Okay,
Adding,
but like
yeah.
maybe as like a two of, and then
No, nothing higher than two.
and then there's gonna be those times where you Sara +2 Soul Climax combo and you top check this and you're just like,
Crap.
"Fuck."
But you already have one on the field, so you're gonna
Yeah,
be like, pay one?
you're
Oh,
gonna hit
what's
the other
this?
one. You're gonna hit the other
I hit
one,
the other one.
and
Nice.
you're gonna feel bad, and it's gonna suck.
Oh man. I don't know. This is gonna be an interesting card. I think the fact that it also gives characters in center can't be reversed by auto effects like
Okay,
suiciders and
how
everything.
relevant is that though? Like actually,
With Sara, it might actually be relevant because of the 3/2 really drop.
what's it gonna get reversed by? Like anti-change regular suicider?
Yeah,
There's
freaking
like
Kiss Timer 2/1. Oh my
no,
god.
no. That's a stock suicider. That doesn't even
Oh,
reverse
that's
the
even
card.
worse.
Like it has to be a regular reversing anti-change suicider, and there are like two of those.
My opinion of this card has just dropped from a 5 to a 4 to a 3 to a 1.
Yeah, this card's like
Why a rare?
it's got the profile. It's missing the context. That's the biggest problem with the card.
Why a rare? That's what I'm wondering.
I don't know. It's got a Magi effect. They felt, oh yeah, we're gonna give it a Magi effect. Let's make it a rare.
I can see that you were rushing because you really fucked this card up.
Oh wait, why did I put 1-0? This should be a
Yeah.
3-2. Okay. Anyways, all right. This is a 3-2. Okay, but at least the effects are correct.
Yeah.
When you play this, reveal a top card of your deck. If it's newspaper or love, deal 1 damage, and that ability is very low value in other sets. Like usually,
You don't know?
like if this is
You
on
don't know.
if this is on like a double R, like that double R is like destined to be like a $1.50, unless it's Shinchan. I think
Randall, you really don't know.
don't know what.
This is a reprint of a Rika that was from the last set. Except instead of if there's 2 in memory, it gains level support by itself. It gains on attack, give a character 2k.
Okay, are the traits the same though?
The newspaper trait's the same, but the student council. So you could argue that the other one might be better because you can play that in newspaper and student council.
The other one's absolutely better. This card gives buffs to like finishers that don't need the power. And if I remember correctly, the 3/2 Rika Restander wasn't even newspaper, so that makes this interaction even more useless.
I know. When I saw this card, I was like, Bushi, what the fuck are you doing reprinting cards that are already printed?
Well, it's reprinting the effect, right? It's not actually reprinting.
Yes, look! It is this card right here, except instead this card has 2 or more memory plus 1500.
That one's from Sakura Saku, right?
Yeah, it's strictly better.
Okay.
Oh my god, Bushi, why?
It could have been worse. This could have been the double R.
What? No. What could have been worse is that this card could have had, like, another totally shitty effect. Oh my god. Any effect. Actually, this card couldn't have been worse, because any other effect would have made this, like, much better. Any effect.
Alright, so, long story short, this card sucks.
Dick. It's a lot of dick.
Okay.
Look, she's even on the guy trying to suck it, because that's how much she sucks.
Alright, this card sucks. In context, this card sucks. Alone, it's, like, kind of whatever. But apparently in context, it's bad. If somebody has a better reason to run this card, please tell me.
Please tell me too. I don't care if you want, like, I don't care if you want to call me out on foreign, but I'm calling this card to be total shit. And I think Randall's agreeing with me.
From what I've heard, it seems like shit. Okay, this 1-0 Himeno. Okay, now we have a good card.
A really good card.
Good girl, good card.
Uncommon.
So we have Himeno. This is a 1-0 uncommon Suicider. This is what I wish Kaneko Suicider was this. This is
really good.
This is good shit.
This is
good. So it's level 1 Suicider on play, top or bottom, or no, top or waiting room. Like there's not much to say here. The level 1 Suicider is already good, and you get the top check too. Like, all right.
You know what? You just got a free like look at top 7 cards of your deck.
7.
You know why? Yeah, play this. Look at the top card. You get a mill 4, and then you're gonna like playing in the creek if you didn't want to play it before. Hit the brainstorm for some reason, and you get to look at 2 more.
How's that 7?
1 from this, 4 from brainstorm, 2 from playing in the creek. That's 7.
I mean, like 4 of them aren't even like in your deck anymore.
Okay, you're gonna see up to 7 cards from your deck.
Yeah, but I mean,
Wherever
like the way you said that, I thought you meant it like you get to look at 7, like, and then they're all still in your deck. That's what I thought you meant.
No. You get to look at 5, I guess. Like you can play 3 of this.
No, that's like.
And then.
Wait, but then like 3 of them aren't even in your deck because that means you milled 3.
Yeah, okay, Randall.
You get to look at most 2 cards if you because you play playing in the creek and then that's it.
Okay, Randall, we get it. You want to shit on me all day. 3 cards.
Okay,
playing in the creek first, and then
card is good. Enough said.
Yeah.
And now we have the last card. This card's weird. So this is a 2/1 Mikoto. She gives 2k in front to level 3 or higher, and you can rest her to reveal the top card of your deck. Or sorry, you can rest this to reveal the top card of your deck. And if that card is a newspaper or a love character, you get to give one of your characters level +4. If this were a level support, this would be hilarious, but it's not. So
it's not, right? Okay. Thank you, Randall. You like
this card's
Foreign really scared me by saying, "Oh, level support. What the fuck?"
No,
like,
if this was a level support, this card would be like pretty silly because it's just like I'm gonna give 2k.
I think what people are gonna do is people are gonna play 1 copy of this card. They're gonna rest. They're gonna give something 4 levels, and they're gonna play the 2/1 Rika level support behind it, and just give it like fucking power out the ass.
Yeah, and then they get anti-changed.
Yes. Well, okay, they're gonna anti-face a level 3 that's like pretty useless already because you go just burn 1. Woo!
Hey man, if you give anything that costs like more than 2 stock or more than 1 stock plus 4 levels, then like I in my opinion that is worth anti-damaging. Okay, actually no, I take that back because like really 1 stock. Okay, if you use it on anything 2 soul or more, how about that? If you use it on anything 2 soul or more,
that's worth
then it becomes worth it. And that being said, that supports my argument that this card sucks.
Oh, I agree with you. This card sucks ass. Like, the only reason I can see people playing even 1 copy of it is because it gives an extra 500 power to your level 3s.
No, I think that the only reason that people play this card is because they want to be a Joker, and they're like...
Okay, that too. I don't know, man. This... Bushiroad is, like, fucking with me right now, because they give me 1 good card, and then they give me 2 bad cards, and then they give me a reprint of a card that we already have, except in a worse form. And, like... Bushiroad just like wants to fuck with me right now. I see these at school, and then I scream in my classroom, "What the fuck, Bushiroad?" And then everyone just stares at me for like 10 minutes.
Dude, nice.
And then like my teacher's like, "Neil, what the hell's going on?" I'm like, "I'm looking at Bushiroad cards," and he's like, "What the fuck?"
Okay. All right. Well, anyways, that is it.
What story?
That's it for this week. Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been Peshcats here with Neil, and apparently my dog. And we will see you next week. Well, actually, no. Next week is when the entire set rolls out, so I guess...
I thought we were gonna do the deck builds.
We will probably do something like that. I will have to, like, study on some of the cards, but, like, whatever.
Do you just want to borrow my one of the 3 things? Like...
I will figure something out, I guess.
No, because if you want, I could give you, like, student council while I play newspaper, and then I can rotate to something else while you get the other one if you want to do that.
Uh,
I
yeah, we'll figure something out. But
I
anyways,
just you know
so we're done for this week. This has been Pesh Cats with Neil, and see you next time.